Hey there, Aquarius. Welcome to your reading for 2016. Now, this is for Aquarius born between January 30th and February 9th. If you haven't heard this already, I'm splitting every single sign up into 3 parts, basically, to make the readings a little bit more accurate for 2016. So, if this is not your birthday, if you're not born in between those days or on those days, you can just click the description. I have all 3 videos listed with the appropriate dates, the appropriate birth dates. You can click on the video that has your birth date. And again, I've been telling everybody, feel free to watch, all 3 videos. I'm sure that, all 3 of them, they kind of will end up going together. Messages will be pretty much the same a lot of the times, but you might pick up some different things from the different videos. And you are Aquarius. This is, again, Aquarius for the second 10 days, about 10 days, January 30th to February 9th. You kind of have a very similar message to the first Aquarius video, a little bit different, some different things going on. The first card you have is the Five of Spades. Five of Spades is a card of needing to be more of a free spirit, needing to be more spontaneous, needing to kind of, do some more exciting things. Don't be like a homebody with this card. It's kind of like one of those cards that asks you to be more adventurous, to take some more adventures. Don't be so closed off to new ideas even, and all of that. So if people come to you and they want you to go out and force yourself to do it. I mean, you have to force yourself to do it with these cards. Even if people invite you to do something that you don't think would be fun, this card says you need to do it, because it's like, for a while now, I think you haven't been having fun, and you've kind of gotten into that cycle of not having fun, and that can kind of lead to you becoming more of like a hermit and, all sorts of these things. So it is a card of needing to adventure. On the flip side, it is one of those cards where if you do that, you have like an absolute blast. You have a really great time and you really enjoy it. You have another travel card coming up. This is a travel card. You have another one coming up here at the end. It's like, the first Aquariuses that I read for, it was big on travel, really heavy. And you are also kind of like really heavy on travel. You have a lot regarding travel and work and all this other stuff. So I think it's going to be a rather exciting year. I think you just may have a couple situations with this card where you kind of need to step outside your comfort zone, and you're just going to have to force yourself to do it. It's like one of those things. It's about not having expectations as well. This card. It's about like, just not expecting anything. Just kind of going with things, and not even with people. It's like, don't have expectations for people. Just be more of that free spirit, and be more of that just like kind of just like whatever. And don't expect people to do things or anything like that with this card. The next card you have is the Nine of Hearts. Really great card. It's a wish card. It's getting things that you want, having things that you want happen, things that you want to have happen, which again has not been the case for you, specifically Aquarius, for a very long time. I would say for a while you've probably been just struggling, straight up struggling. But the Nine of Hearts really brings in some things. It makes some things happen. Having said that, we have to let go of stuff with nines. It's like, nines require us to let go of old stuff. That's like kind of the 9 thing. Nines want new. Nines are the cards of newness. They want new things. They want to experience new stuff. You have to let go of the old. I mean, that really speaks to that Five of Spades at the beginning of just allowing yourself to do things, and don't judge situations. You know what I mean? It's like, whatever. Even if weird situations come up and people invite you to things, I'm really stuck on this, people inviting you to things. So I think that people are going to be inviting you to things a lot this year. Just go with it, allow it to happen, because these new situations are going to be what brings in all this exciting stuff. We can also get stuck in our ways with the 5 and the 9, the combination here. You have another 5 at the end. We can get stuck, and we can get tunnel vision. So this card, 9s, really ask us to open up. They ask us to become more open to new situations. And it says like for example, say you're working a job, and maybe it's in the same industry that you've been in for a while, and you're not making more money. It says, hey, you know what, maybe you need to look somewhere else. Maybe even need to look at a totally new industry, or working for something that's similar but different. It's like you have to allow new things to come in with this card to make it happen. It's not just gonna happen for you if you don't. Next, you have the Four of Hearts. Great card. Represents moving, travel for business, traveling for your job, getting a job that involves more adventure, all sorts of things like that. It's a very good card. I would also say, by the way, love is on the table for you if you're single this year. You get the Nine of Hearts, you get the Four of Hearts, you get the Ace of Hearts coming up, not next, but another card ahead. and that really says that, love is definitely on the table. This can bring more love into your house. Even if you're already in a relationship, it can kind of like build that bond that you have, make it stronger. But more importantly, it's about, moving, getting a new jobs involving business, like I said, um, in traveling for your job as well. And another weird thing, and I got this message for the first Aquariuses as well, is that it can even be, this can be one of those cards where you go somewhere on vacation, you fall in love with the place, and you end up moving there. It can be that crazy, like, can allow things like that to happen, and you totally wouldn't be expecting it. You wouldn't even be planning on moving, but maybe you go somewhere on a business trip or something like that, and then you're like, oh, I'm moving here. This place is awesome, and that's it. This card's also about, you know, sometimes there's a card that really says you need to rely on yourself more. Like if you find yourself, if you're leaning on other people in your life to kind of support you or anything like that, if you, this card says, hey, you know what, you need to step away from other people. You need to start to learn to strengthen yourself this year. That's going to be a big theme for you because with this card, you can kind of end up becoming dependent on some people in your life, and you can be relying on them to take care of you, and that's a vicious cycle. So make sure to rely on yourself this year. Maybe try to become more independent this year. Do whatever you can to do that. Next, you have the King of Clubs. King of Clubs is a very important card. It's all about using your tools, but it's also about seeing into the future. It's about knowing when things are going to happen in the future. Trust your instincts, trust your intuition this month, this year, I should be saying, because it's going to be a big theme for you. Trusting your instincts. The King of Clubs, I always say, any of the clubs cards, the Jack, the Queen, the King, doesn't matter. They are typically people who are born here with knowledge, like born on this earth, already knowing things that nobody has ever taught them. They just know stuff. Use that knowledge. Use that stuff you were born with. And if it's another one of those cards where if like you're struggling to find a job, it's like chances are this card says you liked to do something when you were younger, or you were born with knowledge in some sort of field, and that's where you should be looking for a job. By the way, that's what this card says. It's pretty cut and dry. It's like, it doesn't matter what that is, what you were born with, what kind of knowledge that is. Could be spiritual, could be psychic. Maybe you need to do more psychic work. Maybe you need to start a YouTube channel doing psychic stuff. It really depends. I feel like a lot of you it's going to be business. It's like going to be business related, but you need to figure out what that is and do it. This guy right here, and I say guy, but again, I don't attach sex to my cards, so it doesn't matter male or female. This is an energy surrounding you, but the king, he is very driven. He wants to work really hard. He wants to be the king. He wants those good things in life. So you can work towards those things with this card. Next, you have the Ace of Hearts. Yes, it brings a lot of love to us, but as I always say with the Ace of Hearts, when I pick this card up, I get this image of like a heart melting and like a fresh heart underneath. It's a card that can remove like layers from our lives almost. It's like another way I sometimes describe it, and that's what I'm feeling for you, is it kind of like removes things from our lives, but it allows us to be like fresh. It kind of brings us in with like this fresh energy, a fresh kind of new start in a lot of ways with this card. I really like it. It's another card of the self. It's another card of really focusing on yourself this year. I think you should do some things that kind of scare you this year, that do require you to do things by yourself on your own, that don't allow you to like have anybody else to help you. You know what I mean? I think, probably you need to have a couple more, it's like kind of like you do need to fail in some ways, because it's going to give you a lot. And again, it's not going to be as challenging. Don't be afraid of that failure thing, because it's not going to be like it has been for the past several years. I mean, yeah, you're still going to be failing, but it's kind of like, I think you're feeling more aggressive this year with that King of Clubs. So it's kind of like you're going to fail, but you're going to figure it out quickly, and then you're going to move forward. So it's not going to be holding you back like crazy like the past few years. So again, really try to rely on yourself this year, not so much other people, basically. Next, you have the Five of Clubs. Five of Clubs, another birth card. You have two birth cards, really. Five of Clubs is all about learning, really. It's about learning a bunch of new stuff, learning as much as you can. This has come up very heavily for many signs this year. I would say that this year is kind of like a learning year where people really need to focus on gaining knowledge, just like literal learning, not learning from experiences or anything like that, but like going to school, reading a lot of books in where the field that you work, or reading books on something you're interested in, whatever the case may be. This is like a card of literally expanding your knowledge in some way. So again, I've said it to the other signs that have had this heavily. I don't know if it's in the astrology. Maybe it is that this year is really kind of like a heavy learning focused, needing to learn more type of year. I think that will be very beneficial to a lot of people. It's kind of like one of those things where it's a card of opportunity as well. You have the nines. If you watch my December videos, I talk about how December is like this big opportunity month. And then I think now that I'm doing these 2016 readings, I think that 2016 is also going to be a big opportunity year of opportunities. You have to take advantage of those opportunities. They're not, they don't just come to you and then like magically materialize. You have to they're going to come to you, they're going to be presented to you, but you ultimately have to make the decision to take them and to work on these opportunities. It's going to be in every single place of your life as well. Love opportunity, work opportunity, education opportunities, all these things come up. You have to be the one, though, that steps out and grabs them and really takes advantage of them. So with this card, it's kind of like one of those things. You could have opportunities at work where they're like, hey, there's this new position available. It's like double your salary, but you have to go to school to learn more, something like that. Take advantage of it. You could really improve your life this year with this card specifically. Next, you have the Three of Diamonds. Three of Diamonds is all about morals. It's not even about money. It is a money card. However, it's about deciding what is important to you. The thing is, I think people did that in 2014, 2015. I think that 2014, 2015, and even prior to that, but I think those 2014, 2015, those 2 years were where we like really realized what we wanted to do as people, as individuals. But this card really asks you to decide like what is important to you. It's a card of morals, deciding like morally what is important to you even. So it can have like that kind of like even like a religious feel to it if you happen to be religious. That can come in with this card. It's also a card of using your creativity and being a creative problem solver and things like that. So just be open to those things. And again, it's a card of the self. It's mind, body, spirit, but it's only one person. It's not the Six of Diamonds, which can be two people. It's only mind, body, spirit. So for you, I would say you really need to focus on yourself this year, strengthening yourself up, building yourself up, and separating from like leaning on other people, relying on other people. Sometimes, it can feel very lonely when we do things by ourselves, but it can also build a lot of strength. And I think that will be the result of 2016 for you, is building a lot of strength and really becoming much more independent and successful in life in all areas. So like I said, good year, good money year, good love year even. You just have to kind of step out and really do it. But thank you for watching. Also, again, please feel free to watch the other 2 videos for your sign. The links are going to be in the description for those videos.